Good morning, Year 4. It's Friday the 29th of January and today this is a maths lesson for my maths group. Now we're coming to the end of the fraction work. We haven't done everything we need to do with fractions, but I'm putting it to one side for now and we'll revisit it later in the year. We're going to work now on a unit of work about handling data, about graphs and pictograms and pictographs. So what we're going to be learning today, we're going to draw and read pictographs and bar graphs. Now some of this work is a reminder of the work you may have done in year 3 and just taking it a little bit further today. Okay, so let's have a look. The table shows the number of cupcakes sold in a shop on a particular day. So here we've got the flavour, we've got all these flavours, and here we've got the number sold. And I am delighted to see that chocolate has 80 sold, which tells me straight away that must be the most popular type of cupcake. Have a little look at those children and think which is the least popular flavour there. Which is the least popular, the one that people don't like too much? Have you had a little look? You're right, it's this one, orange. I agree with that. I do not like orange flavoured things as much as chocolate things. I would definitely buy a chocolate flavour. Orange flavour to me is good in an orange but not in anything else. Anyway, away from cupcakes, it says here what types of graphs can we draw to show this information? And also some extra questions. What information is given? What do we know? Who would want this information? And how can we represent it in some different ways? Okay, so the information given is the different types of flavoured cupcakes and the number that was sold. Who might want that information? Well, if you were working in the bakery, you might want to know what the number of cupcakes that were sold. Well, why would you want to know that? Well, if you knew how many were sold each day, you could then work out how many you'd need to buy, how many you'd need to bake for the following day. What are the popular flavours? It would be no good, this baker, just baking 100 of all these cakes, because a person would have quite a lot of waste. It would be no good if this person, the baker, was to bake 100 orange cakes and only 20 chocolate cakes, because clearly from this information, the public really like the chocolate cake. So the baker needs to know what his customers like in order to meet that need. Are there any other ways this data could be represented? Well, this is quite a clear way, this sort of table. But we could represent this information in some different ways, and that's what we're going to look at now. So it could be represented in a picture graph. Sometimes they're called pictograms. And you can see here at the side we've got the number of cakes, and along the bottom we've got the type of cakes. Okay, the type of cakes. Yeah. And it says here, the little boy is telling us that one of those cakes on this pictograph means 4 cupcakes. Yeah, it means 4 cupcakes. So you could count up how many there would be in each of these if you knew your 4 times table. Yeah. Let's look at the orange one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 cupcakes. 1 cupcake is 4, so 6 lots of 4. We know from our TT box stars, 6 4s are 24, so orange would be 24. This little girl's making an interesting comment though. This picture graph has too many pictures. There's too many cakes on there for us to really take it in quickly. What can we do about that? Well, we can use a different scale. So what we've got here, instead of 1 cupcake equaling 4, we've got 1 cupcake equals 10 cupcakes in real life. Yeah. So number of cupcakes up the side and then the types along the bottom. And you can see, here's our chocolate. How many chocolate ones have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cakes, but one cake equals 10, so 8 cakes will be 8 lots of 10. So there's our 80 represented like that, children. Yeah. With pictograms, sometimes you get this, you get like half a cake or a quarter of a cake. Okay. What would half a cupcake really mean? Well, it's mean half the amount of this. Half the amount of this. One full cupcake is 10. So a half cupcake would be, you're absolutely right, would represent 5. Okay, half of that. How else could this information be represented? Well, it can be represented in a bar graph. And you may have seen these bar graphs before. We've got number of cupcakes coming up the side here. We've got, this is important with a bar graph, it's the title of the bar graph. The title is telling us the number of cupcakes sold. Along the bottom, equally placed, so they're not all squished up together, they're equally placed. We've got chocolate, strawberry, banana, orange and vanilla. And going up the side here, we've got what we call our scale, and you can see the person who's drawn this graph has decided their scale is going up in 8. It's our 8 times table. Look, children, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, all the way up to 80. And when we look at this, we can see straight away our chocolate hits right on 80. That works well. Yeah. Our strawberry hits right on 64. So again, that works well. Okay. Our banana hits right on 48. That works well. However, the vanilla, if you look at the vanilla, the amount of vanilla is not in the 8 times table, but it's somewhere between 40 and 48. Yeah. Looking at that, I think it's looking like about 42. Let me just check. Yes, there's vanilla, 42. So that is represented there, children. You can see just above the 40. Yeah, 42. Okay. Let's have a look at these. These are some different bar graphs now. What's the same, what's different? Who can have a little look? So have a little look at this one again. This was our original one. Okay. And now I've got some different ones for you to look at. Okay. What's the same, what's different? Well, let's have a think about what's the same. Well, the number of cupcakes in each one is the same. The number of cupcakes going up the side there and the names of the different cupcakes are the same. The scale looks the same, but the different bit is the order in which these cupcakes have been drawn on the chart. You can see that chocolate is here, but in this one chocolate is here. Do you think that matters, children? Do you think it matters what order you do that in? That's the different thing about these two graphs, isn't it? Okay, it's different to this one. We've got the chocolate one first. Okay, here we've got the chocolate one last, and here we've got the chocolate one second. But the main things are the same. The number of cupcakes, the scale, the order in which they're put along the bottom is different. Same here. Yeah, the order which the person has put them is a little bit different, but actually it's showing the same information. It's showing 80 there, it's showing 80 there for chocolate. There's no difference. If you were asked a question like this, how do we work out how many cupcakes were sold that day? Well, if we had this chart here, you would see the number of cupcakes, and you might need to do a calculation like that. That's a bit of a clue for some of the work that you might have to do today. There's the 80, that was the chocolate, there's the strawberry, banana, orange and vanilla. and it's actually suggesting that you have to add that up, and then you'll be able to work out the total number sold that day. Okay, so what's your task? Your task looks like this. It's about burgers, okay? And instead of cupcakes, we're looking at burgers. It's a similar sort of thing. How many burgers were sold in a cafe Monday to Friday? And he's drawn part of the graph. The question here is asking you to draw the rest of the graph. If you can't do that on your laptop, you're just going to have to do the second page of this task. If you can do it, or you'd like some squared paper, I have saved that on Teams for you to print off. Second one's just like this, showing that graph and asking questions. You may need to do a calculation or two to answer those questions about that graph. How can you let me see your work? You can put it on Teams, or you can email me your work today, children. Okay, so that's the beginning, the first lesson of our work on graphs and pictographs. I hope that's okay for you, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, Year 4.